Hey, scrappy people, it's Tracy Reed here today, coming at you with a sketchy Sunday layout. This is the first in its series, and I thought I would kick this one off with a traveler's notebook sketch, but keep in mind that a traveler's notebook, both sides together, are a square. So any traveler's notebook sketch can be used on a 12 by 12 layout as well. So what I'm doing here is cutting this paper on the diagonal to mat it on that pink paper to match the sketch, and this sketch is available at tracireed.com. There is a link in the description box below to take you to the blog post, and you can download a PDF, printable PDF of this sketch to print it out so that you can follow along as well. So I have a photo strip of three 2 by 2 and 2 2/3. I put 2.75 on the sketch because it would be a little bit easier to manage that. But it's like a 6-inch photo booth strip, and the photos themselves are 3 by 4 ratio. So when you size that down, they are 2 by 2.66 or 2.75. And I just created that little strip in Photoshop just to make it easier because they all stayed together. Then I trimmed down this paper to the exact same dimensions, and I'm just offsetting this mat a little bit to add in a little bit of color. I was wearing my husband's hat for a few minutes when I started this video just because I was amused by it, so that's what you see peeking in at the bottom there. And then I have a 3 by 4 card, and this is one of the 3 by 4 patterned cards from the So Excited collection, and I'm using that as an offset mat just like I did with the photos for this 3 by 4 card. So I'm going to punch holes here so that I don't mess up this layout later on by having to punch holes after the fact. So I'm just going to add in my holes here. And then I'm going to start my embellishing now that I have the base of the layout. So I'm using my So Excited collection, and again, I used this collection in my previous video as well, but this is twice in a row now that I've used this somewhat Easter themed collection for a non-Easter themed layout. I really want to use these adorable bunnies, so I'm trying to make them fit in, and I will end up doing it, but they'll come and go for a few minutes here while we work out the embellishments. So I knew I wanted to bring in some more bunnies because, you know, the card says don't love no bunny but you. So I'm pulling out some bunnies and some other embellishments that I think will match this collection or this layout well enough from the collection. There are, of course, a lot of Easter and springy themed embellishments in this collection because that is what it is designed for. So I'm just kind of picking out the things that aren't going to go and pulling in the things that will. So this little this little chick coming out of the egg says, "You crack me up," and he's making me laugh in these photos, so that was perfect. I pulled out my heart punch because I'm going to punch out some patterned hearts out of some of my scraps of paper here. So I'm just trying to figure out where I want everything else to go. I really wanted to incorporate that banner, but it doesn't end up on either of those banners, the bunny one or the little blue one. Neither of them end up on the spread eventually. They go away. I tried real hard, but instead of going with that bunny banner, I'm going to go with the actual bunnies because I really like them. And it's a boy and a girl, and it just makes sense, right? I worried a little bit about there being too many bunnies if I added them in, but you know what? No regrets. So I'm contemplating adding these bunnies instead of hearts, but no, we're going to go with hearts. And I'm going to use this green paper that I use to mat my photo strip to bring in a little bit more of that green. And then I'm going to end up adding 4 hearts all together. Using my heart punch, falling back on some tools that I rarely use. I tend to stick with like sticker packs or embellishments that are already done, and I always forget to use my punches, so I'm happy to pull out my heart punch here. Then I'm going to reach in my stash and bring in some wood veneer as well because, go big or go home, pull in stuff that you never use. Might as well pull it all in, right? Like I said in my last video, I'm trying to use a little bit more of my wood veneer and that kind of stash in my videos because, or in my layouts and on my videos, because it's just kind of sitting and rotting in my stash and I don't really love that. So I have this whole big box of hearts in all of its various forms. We've got chipboard hearts and veneer hearts and gem hearts and flare with hearts. I just put all of my hearts together. And so I'm pulling out all of these little confetti-sized veneer hearts because I have so many. And I'm going to sprinkle them around the page to match the sketch. Oh, so many hearts. Look at all this. And then I have this little arrow that's actually my handwriting. It is a wood veneer that I created for Gossamer Blue many moons ago. And I'm going to use that on the page as well because it's my handwriting, so why not? It says you and me. I really thought about using these yellow metal hearts, and I move them around the page, and then when I end up gluing down my wood veneer, I end up taking them off because I felt like it was just too much heart with the wood veneer and the yellow ones, so changed my mind. So I'm just kind of scattering them around, matching the sketch, pulling in a bunch of different wood veneer. Felt like I needed another heart because, duh, there's 4 on the sketch, but I haven't cut it out yet because I haven't really decided what I'm going to do with this top part of the right-hand side quite yet. Cute. Loving all these hearts. It is a lovey-dovey layout, so it works. Still trying to incorporate that banner in. Not going to happen. And you can see that I added that journaling spot to my layout. It's not on the sketch. Always feel free to adapt sketches to make them work for you and what you are doing on your layout. The sketches are always just supposed to be starting points. So now I'm going to glue down all of these wood veneer and start finishing off this spread. Love this little you and me. I think the last time I used it was like many moons ago on a different layout. I always get multiples of my own designs, so this is far enough away from the last time I used it that no one will ever notice. And I'm super excited to get some of this stuff out of my stash too, because what's the point of just keeping it in your stash forever and ever and never using it? Alright, so now that we've got all of this wood veneer down, I'm going to remove the yellow hearts because they're just not working for me. And I'm going to take off this banner as well. So now I'm going to figure out how to make these cute little bunnies work. And they kind of look good staggered up here in the corner, so that's where we're going to put them. Again, adding to the sketch something that is not there, making it work for me. Aw, they're so cute. Their names are Gus and Gloria, in case you were wondering. Yes, I named my illustrations because they needed names. Here is my last heart that I'm going to add in. And then, of course, I need to add in some wood veneer around this green heart because there's wood veneer around all of the rest of the hearts. And then last but not least, I'm going to add in some of the florals from the collection. I initially wasn't going to add in flowers, but I felt like once I added in some, they really came together and worked. And I needed something to anchor this word strip anyway. So I'm going to pull in just a couple, like not any of the big flower clusters. I'm actually just going to pull in some single blooms from the collection. These are from the sticker sheet. I've used the sticker sheet, the Traveler's Notebook papers, the journaling cards #1, and the pattern cards in this spread. All printables. They all come with 8.5 by 11 print sheets, so if you don't have Photoshop, you don't need it because you can just print directly from your photo viewer on your computer. So if you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. And if you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Traci and Reed, and there is a link to the sketch in the comment section below. All right, thank you.